Yo, what is up guys, the boy IzuKage here with part 2 of what if Naruto went back in time. So from the comments alone, you guys just absolutely love this series and I feel the same way. This series is one of my favorite to write, narrate, I just absolutely love it. But other than that, I'm trying to get you guys more videos more often and it's kind of hard because school is turning up to 100, but I'll see what I can do. And if you guys want to talk to me or members in the community, hop on the Discord server, link in the description, and we're getting really close to 1,000 members, so definitely join. Also, if you guys are interested in any fire anime merch, you guys can check out the link in the description also, and if you like anything you see on the website, definitely make sure to grab it. But with that all said, let's just get right into the what if. So we pick right back up with Naruto being cornered by Yamato and Hiruzen, who want to know the truth. And Naruto, he just says, okay. And he pauses for a bit, and for a moment he's thinking if it's really worth it to tell them, but then Naruto remembers that Hiruzen is going to die in like a month from now, so it's probably best if he does. So Naruto looks up to them and says, I'm from the future. Hiruzen and Yamato are looking at each other and Hiruzen says, yeah, and I can use wood style. Naruto, be serious. And Naruto sighs and Kurama speaks to him and says, and Naruto, he stops to think about it, then he says to them, alright, I can prove it. My dad is Minato Namikaze and my mother is Kushina Uzumaki. And Hiruzen, he was shocked that Naruto knew this, but he's like, okay, you could have just read that somewhere in a book or something. But Naruto started going into detail about different events that have happened, like the Uchiha massacre, the curse of hatred, and the day of the Nine-Tails attack, and even everything that's been going on with Itachi and how he was tasked with slaughtering his entire clan. Now Hiruzen is starting to believe Naruto because he's saying some SS plus rank secrets, like the most secretive secrets in the entire village. And Hiruzen is like, okay, just stay quiet before someone who's passing by hears. And Hiruzen asks Naruto, then if you're from the future, why did you come back? And Naruto responded, I came back to save the entire shinobi world. And Hiruzen is thinking like the entire world got wiped out, gods came down and killed everyone. And he isn't totally wrong, but Naruto, he wouldn't know that since he left before Kaguya appeared. But anyways, Naruto says getting in the specifics isn't really important right now because in about a month, Orochimaru is going to kill you. And Hiruzen hearing this is like, Orochimaru? Damn it. And Hiruzen is regretting every chance he got to take care of him. And Naruto just said, I'll tell you more, but you guys kinda broke down my door. And Hiruzen is like, oh yeah, no worries. Yamato, he has it. And Yamato, he's in his own world right now, thinking about all the possibilities the future had to hold. And eventually Hiruzen, he brings him out of his own mind and makes him make a new door for Naruto. So we fast forward to the next day and Naruto returns to the academy. And as soon as he walks out of his apartment, he goes downstairs and Naruto sees a group of 4 villagers gathering around the staircase. And if that wasn't weird enough, when he walked past them, they just stopped talking completely and just stared at him. And he felt really weirded out by this, but he put some pep in his step and just got going to the academy. And when he got near, he sees Hinata by the door, so Naruto, he runs up and calls out her name. And Hinata, like, she's embarrassed by this. She freezes and immediately goes red. And when Naruto catches up, he says, yo, what's up? We haven't talked in a while since, the other day. How have you been? And Hinata said, I'm good, Naruto. So they start walking together to class, having a little conversation, and when they get there, Kiba is in his seat watching them, and he's had a crush on Hinata for the longest time. And he just puts his head down on the desk and said, you win this one, Naruto. So Naruto goes to his seat, and Sasuke asks Naruto, you think we'll be on the same team? And Naruto says, I know we'll be on the same team. But Sasuke, he just thinks Naruto is just having wishful thinking. So Iruka, he arrives soon after and he gets straight to the point and says, I have all the teams listed right here, and he starts going through them. So first up, Team 10, Jake Paul, Nick oh wait, wrong Team 10. Team 10, Naruto anime. Okay, I got the right Team 10, just a bit of a mix-up. So it's Choji Akamichi, Ino Yamanaka, and Shikamaru Nara, and their squad leader is going to be Asuma Sarutobi. So next up is Team 8, Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shino Aburame, and their squad leader is going to be Kurenai Yuhi, and that leaves Team 7. And this Team 7 is going to stay completely the same: Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki, and Sakura Haruno. And of course, their squad leader is going to be Kakashi Sensei, or I mean Kakashi Hatake, but we know him as Kakashi Sensei. So Sakura screamed out in joy because she's on a team with Sasuke, and she makes sure to rub it all up in Ino's face. So right after that, Asuma and Kurenai, they come in and take their team out just for a little introduction. You know, Asuma takes them to a barbecue place while Kurenai just takes them somewhere random. So while Team 7, they're just waiting for their Jonin Sensei, and Naruto says to Sasuke and Sakura, get comfortable because he's not coming for a while. So they wait for over an hour until Kakashi finally arrives. And when he did, he was going to come up with an excuse. And Naruto, he just walked to the door and said, save it, Kakashi Sensei. Just meet us up at the roof. And Kakashi's like, that's my line. So the team meets up at the roof of the academy, and they start their little introductions. So first off was Sakura, and she said, well, my name is Sakura Haruno, and I like a certain someone, looking in Sasuke's direction, and dislikes another certain someone, making sure to stare right in Naruto's eyes. And Naruto, he wasn't gonna take this. He focused his Kyuubi's killing intent towards Sakura, and she felt this chill crawl up her back like she was about to die. So she stayed silent for a while until Kakashi, started snapping his fingers in her face, trying to get her attention. And that's when she finally just snapped out of it and said, my goals are to one day become a strong kunoichi. So next was Sasuke, and his was actually a lot different from in canon. His likes were training and getting stronger, and dislikes was he disliked a certain someone. And his goal was to just find out the truth about his clan. So Kakashi, he was actually surprised by this answer because he would have thought that Sasuke would be completely angry at Itachi for doing it, but he's actually surprised at how mature Sasuke is being. So after that's all said and done, Naruto is finally up next, and nothing changes about him. He still wants to be the Hokage, his likes are still ramen, literally nothing changes. So after that, Kakashi says, okay, cool. I want you guys to meet me at the main training grounds tomorrow, and that's when you will have your real test. And Sakura said, oh, what do you mean by real test? But Kakashi just poofed into clouds. And Naruto laughed a bit and gets up and says, see ya tomorrow to Sasuke. And he waves back to Naruto. So Naruto, he starts jumping from rooftop to rooftop to get home, and when he does, he sees his front door completely ripped off the hinges and it's like broken into pieces. And Naruto, he's like, what the heck? And he goes inside his room and it's completely trashed. His clothes are thrown all over the place, plates are smashed on the ground, and his mattress is halfway outside his window. What? So Naruto was just thinking who could have done this, and that's when he remembered those guys from earlier. So Naruto was pissed, but he just wanted to move out. He wanted to move out anyways, so this may have just been a blessing in disguise. So Naruto started packing all of his more important things like clothes, ninja tools, and how could he forget the ramen, because they smashed some of his ramens. Like, he could have tell that somebody stepped on the cups, but they spared some of them, so Naruto made sure to carry those with him. So he headed to the Hokage's office, and Naruto, like, he enters Hiruzen's office, and Hiruzen is surprised to see Naruto because he rarely visits and says, "To what do I owe the pleasure?" And Naruto, he starts to explain how someone completely trashed his apartment. And at first, Hiruzen, he wanted to know because he was ready to call up Ibiki anytime to lock them up. But Naruto, he just says it's fine, and he was planning to move out anyways. And Hiruzen, hearing this, he was actually surprised because he had planned to give Naruto his own house. And Naruto, he was like, "Oh, okay." So Hiruzen, he takes Naruto to this house, and it's actually one of the houses in the Uchiha compound. Because the Uchiha compound, it's literally just abandoned. Like, Sasuke is the only one who stays over there. So why just waste it when Naruto could have a decent home over there? So Hiruzen takes Naruto to a house that is way bigger than his apartment. He has a full kitchen, a living room, 2 bedrooms. Bro, he's living the life, and at the low cost of $0. So Naruto, he was excited because he had never owned his own house or even have this much space to do anything. So Hiruzen, he sees how excited Naruto is, and he just wants to, let him be. So he sees his way out. So Naruto, he spends the night, packing his stuff, getting tucked in like it's his own home. So the next morning, Naruto wakes up in his bed and gets prepared for his meeting with his team. So he puts on his ninja gear, his headband, everything, and heads to the training ground. So Naruto gets there and sees his teammates under a tree trying to get some shade because Kakashi doesn't look like he's coming anytime soon, so they're making themselves comfortable. So Naruto, he goes up, he greets them, and Sasuke asks him, "Do you have any idea what the test is gonna be?" And Naruto, he smiles and says, "Yeah, I have an idea. Since we're a team, it's probably best if we come up with an idea to work together." And Naruto called to Sakura, so they all came together to come up with something. So soon enough, Kakashi, he arrives, and it's actually not as late as their first meeting, but still Kakashi needs to learn to be punctual. So Kakashi, he starts explaining this test he's been talking about, and he calls it the bell test. On his waistband, he has 2 bells, and whoever is the first 2 to grab it will move on, while the person who doesn't get a bell gets sent back to the academy. So Naruto, he already knows the deal with this, but Sasuke, he's thinking this is weird because he has never seen a 3-man team, like a full team with just 3 persons. It's normally 3 genin and 1 jonin sensei. So he's kind of confused at that, but it doesn't really click to him that you need to use teamwork. So Kakashi, he takes them out into the middle of the field and then says, "Begin." And at that, all 3 of them rush into the forest. And Kakashi was actually surprised at how easily they hid, because right now he can't sense any of them. So they're probably gonna be there for a while, he thinks. So he takes out his Makeout Paradise, because we all know that's the best book in the village, hands down. But while Kakashi is reading, Naruto is starting his plan to make sure that he can finish this before he reveals his Sharingan, or else this would make it a lot harder. So he turns to his teammates and said, "Just follow the plan and it'll work out fine." And he says, "Sakura, ready?" And she nods. So we switch back to Kakashi, and he can sense someone moving out, and he sees Sakura running out of the bushes, and she's just standing there. Then Sakura started doing hand signs, and Kakashi, he's looking at the seals, and he realizes it's a fireball, and he jumps back, and he's thinking Sakura has a fire element, and she completes the jutsu, and she shoots out a massive fireball way larger than some jonins in the village, and it hits Kakashi, but he turns into a log, and he came from behind Sakura and ran at her. Seeing that she poses this much of a threat, Kakashi is trying to get her out of this, right? Trying to knock her out immediately. So Kakashi, he runs up from behind Sakura and throws a punch, but she realizes this and turns around and catches it and starts holding Kakashi's hand, and he tries using his other hand, but she grabs it also, and she was just holding him down until Sasuke jumped down from the tree above them and managed to grab one of the bells. And Kakashi headbutted Sakura and she poofed into a cloud of smoke, revealing that it was Naruto all along. And Kakashi was thinking that, oh, so it was a transformation. But Kakashi sees Naruto smile before poofing into a cloud of smoke, and it was a shadow clone. And Kakashi started looking around, and that's when Sakura came out of the nearby bushes and rushed at him, and she threw a kunai at Kakashi, which he easily dodges, but the kunai poofed, revealing that it was Naruto, and he opens his palm and screamed Rasengan, and a blue spiraling ball of chakra slammed into Kakashi's back and sent him flying into a tree, knocking him out. So just some quick exposition. You guys remember when I said that if Naruto wanted to learn any jutsu he already knew, it would be way more efficient since he knows what to do? This time, learning the Rasengan only took 2 days. That's how efficient it is. Plus, he was using a shadow clone, like using the shadow clone memory thing, so that's how he could have used it one-handed way quicker. So, let's get back into it. 20 minutes later, and Kakashi, he wakes up and he's tied up to the stump while Team 7 is enjoying their large bowls of ramen, and Naruto says to Kakashi, "Rise and shine." And Naruto, he jingles both the bells in Kakashi's face and says, "Teamwork was the aim of the game, right?" And Kakashi, he chuckled a bit and said, "So you knew from the start. You're smarter than you let on." And Naruto just lets out a big smile and continues stuffing his face with ramen. So with the team now officially becoming Team 7, they start doing D-rank missions. And these include like catching cats, helping old ladies cross the road, picking up litter, just the little tasks that need to be done but there's not always people to do them. So after about 2 weeks of doing this, the team, they are annoyed, but it was more of a learning experience for them because Naruto was actually the one who tried to make the missions fun, tried to make it a bonding experience with his team, because he knows that Naruto, he needs to make a strong bond for this team because he does not want Sasuke to leave the village. So even though the team is having fun, Naruto knows this is around the time when they would ask for the C rank mission. So whenever they go to get their next D rank, Naruto, he brings it up to his team, and they actually agree because they've been kind of finding these missions sort of repetitive. So Hiruzen, after hearing everyone's thoughts, he actually doesn't mind giving them a higher rank mission since, well, he knows about Naruto and the fact that Kakashi is on their team. So they probably face no one stronger than Kakashi in whatever mission he gives them. So Hiruzen starts sifting through some of the missions he has, and he finds a perfect one, a C rank escort mission, and he starts to explain the details to the mission to them, saying they have to escort a bridge builder called Tazuna to the land of waves. So he asks an Anbu to bring Tazuna in, and for once in his life, he isn't a drunken mess, and he comes in pretty sober, and he looks over the team, and he does say he had expected them to be like a lot older and more experienced, but he knows that he's completely lying, so he shouldn't expect anything and should just be happy that the village was fooled by his like C rank mission request. So Tazuna, he's happy with the team, so he heads out and they all meet up at the village gates the next day. And after getting some introductions out of the way and starting to get to know Tazuna, the team, they start heading out to the land of waves. And not even 15 minutes from the village, Naruto, Kakashi, and Sasuke all realize something suspicious. There is a puddle up ahead, but it hasn't rained for weeks. They're in the middle of the dry season. So Sasuke, he looks back at Naruto and Naruto nods at him. So Sasuke, he jumps out in front of the group and he does hand signs and says, "Fire style, majestic destroyer flame." and he fires a continuous stream of flame. Imagine Madara against the Shinobi Alliance, but a lot weaker. Still, the brothers are not surviving this. So when the flame subsides, they see the charred remains of the demon brothers, and Naruto comes up to Sasuke and gives him a pat on the back, while Kakashi, he's just awestruck at these two. They cease to amaze him because of these jutsus they're using. First off, Naruto with the Rasengan, he doesn't even know how Naruto learned that. There is no one in the entire village except Kakashi himself who knows the Rasengan, so he doesn't know who could have even taught him. And Sasuke, well, he has the Uchiha library with all the jutsus, but that takes a considerable amount of chakra, and for him to be able to use that is really impressive, being a genin. So after Kakashi sealed the bodies away, they continue on their path to the land of waves. And they're approaching this heavy fog on their path, and Tazuna is getting chills up his spine as they approach this fog. And Naruto yelled out duck, and the entire team crouches down under an executioner's blade, like barely avoiding them, and it lodges itself into a tree. And someone lands on it, and Naruto says under his breath, Zabuza. And Kakashi hears this and he's thinking how the heck Naruto even knows about Zabuza, but that's the least of their worries because Zabuza is ready to kill them. But Naruto, he knows the good in him and he'll try to win them over to their side. But that is where I'm going to be leaving this one off. Again, guys, leave some of what you want to happen in the story in the comments. Sometimes I get like really demotivated to do these, but reading the comments and reading your guys' really interesting ideas really like pushes me to want to use it in the actual what if. So make sure to do that. And of course, if you like the video, like, and if you like my content in general, consider subscribing. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next what if.